Hi, I'm here with week 6 of my series Bubble Watch. That's where I sit here and go into my MLS system, which is the multiple listing service. We go into the back end of my account where I show you just regular people, just like me. I'm a regular guy who happens to be a real estate agent here in North Florida. But we go back in there and I show you the real numbers, what's happening in real time. Because what we're going to do, we're keeping track of these numbers. We're watching weekly to see if that Jacksonville bubble is going to burst. So we've got a lot, so fasten up your seatbelts. We got a lot to cover here today. And what I go over, just for those who haven't watched my other series, you may be new to this, we're going to cover like the actives, the pendings, the contingents taking backups, the expired listings, withdrawn listings, sold, mortgage rates, and of course at the end I'm going to look at those new construction numbers, okay? We're going to look at the new construction, how many listings, active listings there are, and how many sold, and we go 7 days back. That's why this is a weekly thing. So we're about ready to get into the back end of this, and just before I do, hey, you know what? I get a lot of calls from folks all over the country all the time that are looking to relocate to North Florida, and some folks wanting to sell here, and I love talking to everybody. So if you have any questions or you want to talk to me about that, just give me a call or shoot me an email at this email address and number you see below. Now let's get into the back end of my MLS. Okay, here we are, and we're going to start off with as we usually do, with the active listings. Okay, what is active right now? And what we've got here now, we're showing 4,367. Okay, that looks like an increase. Okay, well, as we look at the chart here, we see that we're at 4,367 there that we were, and now compare that last week, 4078, and of course look from when we started week 1 at 2994. So the inventory is going up. So as you can see, what we've been seeing in the headlines is about that there's more inventory, there's more out there. Again, there's a couple of things that are driving this inventory up. One, of course, is those interest rates that hit 6%. We're going to check later and see how they played out this week. But also, you got a lot of sellers saying, you know what, the market's still good. There's still homes being sold. And you know what, maybe I need to jump in now, you know, while we still got a good market. And I think that's a pretty good thought process there. All right, so next let's go take a look and see what we've got for the sold. All right, now for the sold, we're going 1 week back, go 7 days. And there, as you see, we've got 531. Okay, now let's compare that with where we were through the previous weeks. Let's go to that spreadsheet. And there you can see we were at 580 last week, and we were week 1 584, and then it went up into the 6s, the 7s, then started dropping, went to 543, then 580, went up, and now it's dropping back down again. Okay, so we're starting to see a slowdown in some sales here. Now, of course, again, that's those interest rates, but still, look, we're over 500. Okay, just think, this is 1 week. Okay, 1 week, you know, over 500 homes sold. I mean, it's still pretty good. That's a lot of people out there still buying homes. All right, let's check out some more numbers. All right, let's go to looking at the contingent taking backup numbers, okay? And there we're at 864, okay? And let's compare that with the previous week's chart. And as you can see, from last week, it's just slightly up. You know, from week 1 was 879, and so it stayed pretty consistent. And so we're still about there. So let's go take a look at the pending right now. And again, I like to go 1 week back. Here we are, and we're at 714 for the pending, okay? And you know, I just want to again, I like looking at the map here. Look on the map on the side here. Look at all those red dots. I mean, there's so many pending, you know. I mean, it almost looks like a case of chicken pox for this whole area. But as you can see, you know, we had like the contingent taking backups, 864 and this 740. Now, let's take a look at our stats from before when we plug in that 714, and you can see that it's about 100 off, okay, from last week. But you know, during this 6-week time, you saw where it dropped into the 7s there for a bit, went back up to 8, and now we've dropped back down into the 7s again. So those contingent taking back up numbers, those are all folks that they're under contract and they're just waiting for the contingencies, like a finance contingency, or it could be like the inspection or an appraisal, something like that. And the other pendings, okay, all those pendings there are ones that have gone past the contingencies and should be on their way to closing. Now, we're seeing a drop in those pendings, okay? That means a drop they've supposedly gone past their contingencies. Well, what if they didn't make it past the contingency? What's the one contingency that's changed the most now? I don't think the appraisals has so much, and the inspections, well, the houses are what they are and nothing's changing there. What we've seen change is the financing, okay? Underwriting has gotten a little bit stricter with folks, even after they've gone under contract, okay? Even when somebody has the pre-approval and they go through, they've given all their stuff within that first 5 days. During that 30 days, which usually is about what it is, some are less, but you'll get underwriting now coming up with some stricter things that they didn't tell them in the beginning. And this is what's happening. And I think that could be part of why we're seeing the pending going down. So we don't know. I mean, there is a drop in the sales too, in units sold, but that's as a result of you got less pending. You know, if you're going to have less pending, you're going to have less sold. So let's take a look at some more numbers. All right, let's get in there and we're going to look at withdrawn. And again, we're going 1 week out, and what do we see there? We got 79, okay? 79 withdrawn. Doing things a little different now. We're going to the chart instead of saving it to the end. All right, the withdrawn dropped. Okay, now when you look at it, it's about where it was, you know, when we started at the beginning. Dropped a little bit, then started going up, really went up last week, and now it's dropped again. All right, let's see here. The next ones, let's look at expired. Okay, the expireds up there are 88. So let's go ahead and plug that in. And you can see that the expireds have gone up a little bit, okay? The withdrawns dropped and the expireds went up. Okay, the withdrawals are going down some, okay, this last week there, okay? Now, remember I said withdrawn. It's folks that got their house up for sale and decided to take it off the market. A lot of people were withdrawing because in the past they couldn't find a place to move to. But now inventories are increasing, and they're probably increasing in other places too, other than just here. So could it be that now some of the sellers feel more comfortable, you know, with looking at that? So when you look at this number here, and you see that withdrawn went down, okay, less people are withdrawing. So maybe they feel more comfortable about finding a place when they move to. Now the expireds have jumped up a little bit, okay? Now remember the expireds are ones that their listing contract expired and the house didn't sell. Okay, so now that's jumped some. Okay, can it be because it didn't sell because maybe some of these were near the end of their contracts? And because of those interest rates jumping into the 6s, you know, less people were buying homes, so less people were looking. There's no doubt we've got less showings going on right now. And there's less people calling to look at homes. And you're not getting all those multiple offers like you did several months ago. So this could be what's happening, is that they're getting near the expiration of that contract and you just don't have that traffic coming in. So they let it expire, as they think that they wouldn't get to sell it. So, but I mean, is that the reasons? Is there marketing reasons? I don't know, you know, without looking at it individually. So let's check out some more numbers. Okay, now let's look at those mortgage rates. All right, and like it says, we look at week 1 when we started this, and we go back to the week previous. So since we're in week 6, we're going back to week 5. All right, see where we left off back there, you know, when we started week 1 last was 5.36. Then last week, look at that mess, going up into the sixes. 6.28, actually a high in midweek and going through. Now look at this week, okay? All right, everyone was screaming it was going way up, and it stayed in the sixes there, but look what happened the last couple days and then today, okay? Today being on the 23rd, dropped to 5.75. I've got another video about interest rates that if you haven't seen it yet, you ought to go look at it. It goes to the history of interest rates and showing when they went all the way up to 18%. But, I mean, it's crazy. These rates, it's a daily thing. So, what are you going to do? You see, like, last week, this week, it's kind of stayed like that. But I got a whole new theory on that. Okay, a lot of people saying maybe I shouldn't buy right now and seeing. Well, if some of them kind of waned, they could have got a drop, but then they could pull out and go back in. But if you get a drop, you see a drop like that, make sure you get the rate lock, okay, so you can stay in it, so, until closing, so that you don't get knocked out of it for the rate. But I have a whole nother thought process about these interest rates and whether somebody should be buying now and if it's a good time to buy and why I think it is for a lot of folks. But I don't want to turn this video into a 2-hour movie, so I'm going to have another video about that, so watch out for that. So let's go back in there and look at some more numbers. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to look at the new construction, okay? We're going to take a look at that new construction. We want to see what was sold in the last 7 days out of new construction. And there, that number is 66. All right. So let's go take a look at the chart from last week and plug in the 66 and compare it to, whoa, look at that. Okay. All right. We went from that 46 and of course we had, it was a lot higher, then it started going down, and so we were thinking like, okay, this is going to be a downward trend now. I go, we're just going down into the 40s, and of course we're seeing all those newspaper ads, headlines. Well, speaking of headlines, what do we got for a headline here in Reuters? It says, U.S. housing market cooling as building permits tumble and starts fall. Okay, well, we're about to see how that is, because right now these were sold new construction and they shot up, which kind of surprised me though too, that I saw that. So okay, so we can't go by all those national headlines, but that headline there said that everything plummeted as far as the starts just went down in the toilet. So now let's see how many new construction active listings were on the market for right now compared to last week, and we're going to see, okay, did the contractors and the builders, did they slow things down as what they put on the market? Let's check it out right now. All right, we're going to look at new construction active now, and what do we got there? 1,166. Okay, let's plug that into our thing here, 1,166. And take a look at this. All right, look at this. When we started in week 4 tracking that, it was at 1,017. Last week, 1,085, and now 1,166. Folks, I mean, there's more new construction homes on the market now. Okay, now what's causing this? Well, I tell you what, there's new construction's being sold, as we saw with the sold numbers here. Now some of these were builders probably started stuff and they have their own quick move-in readies, but they didn't put them in the MLS system yet, because they do wait till they get to a certain point in time to put those in, and they're considered the fast start homes that you'll see. So that could be part of it, that they already had, but I kind of expected to go down listening to all the gloom and doom. So I mean, we still got some pretty good numbers here, things being sold, good inventory. There's a lot of things going on. I know the interest rate, I know. You got to watch my other video, but this is it. So what are you asking now? Is this a good time to buy, or is it a good time to sell? You got the numbers here. You decide. Give me a call. Hey, until week 7, I'm out of here.